Good everyone, it's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. And for today's video, we're going to take a quick look at the Air Jordan 11 Retro in the cherry colorway. Alright, so really quickly, we'll just take a look at the box that these shoes come in. The size tag reads 10.5, Air Jordan 11 Retro, white varsity red, black. Inside the box, you do have that black tissue paper. And that's pretty much all that you get with the shoes. So that's just a quick look at the box. Obviously, this is the box they did come in back in 1995. All right, so getting started with the Air Jordan 11 Retros in the cherry colorway. This is a huge spin-off of the 2001 white and red lows, which is for me my favorite low top ever. I've been saying this since 01 when I first saw those in a gym, is I would love to see those in a mid-top form. And actually back in the day from like 01 to 03, this was one of the most faked colorways for a mid-top. A ton of websites had these as obviously fakes and as a mid-top back in the day. So it's just kind of interesting to see Jordan Brand finally releasing these in mid-top form, whereas back in the day, it was one of the most faked colorways. But for me, I'm not mad at it because the white and red low tops is my absolutely favorite low top Air Jordan 11. Now, starting with the outsole of this shoe, you do have the red herringbone traction pods. Even to this day, honestly, this traction holds up great on court, whether it's a dusty court or a clean court. These are fantastic. You do have that translucent outsole around those pods. It does have a slight tinge of blue to it. Nothing crazy though. And then you do have that carbon fiber shank plate right here. It is kind of like a checkerboard, black and red, with the Jumpman in the middle at the midfoot here. Moving your way up from that, you do have a Phylon midsole, and embedded within that midsole is a full-length air sole unit. So even to this day, once these are broken in, even on court, I love playing in 11s, and I still find them comfortable to this day. Now moving your way up from that, you do have the higher cut patent leather, which they did introduce in 2016 with the Space Jam or Concord PEs here from 1995. So they did introduce the higher patent leather cut in 2016, and they do keep that going here in 2022. Now for me, I prefer the higher patent leather cut because it is truer to the OGs in 95, but a ton of people prefer the 2008 to 2015 really low patent leather. I think it makes the shoe look a lot different, and I just don't care for it, to be honest. So for me, I sold all of my older pairs of 11s that have that cut of patent leather. Now moving your way up from that, you do have this ballistic nylon mesh, and it's a lot thicker and it has the padding in between each eye stay, whereas I believe it was 2016 here on the Space Jams or the playoff PEs, they did not have the actual thick padding in between each eye stay, whereas these do. And again, that is a OG trait or OG feature. They did have this really thick padding in 95. And then moving your way up from that, you do have those really thick rope laces that are supposed to mimic the basketball hoops mesh. Obviously you can see it's pretty thick, and I really enjoy the overall look of the 11s. For me, my favorite Air Jordan model of all time is the Air Jordan 11 in the Concord colorway. Now this is the pair from 2018. This is my favorite shoe of all time. The OGs, the 2001 retros, or the 2018s. The 2011s for me were just a really terrible retro in my opinion, but the Concords for me is just the best shoe of all time. So, and then at the back of this shoe as well, you do have some leather. It's really nothing special, but it's not a bad cut in my opinion. You do have that 2-3 at the back of the shoe, and then the Jumpman is finally facing the right way. From 2008 to 2015, the ball was facing the other way, facing the back, and on both shoes, the Jumpman ball is supposed to be facing the toe. So they finally did it right again in 2016, and up until now they've been doing it the right way as far as the ball facing the front of the shoe, and it's no different here on the Varsity Reds. And then like I said, you have that 2-3 at the back. And then the insole on these is polyurethane, so it is similar to all of the other retros that have come out since 2016, having that polyurethane insole. So for me, this is a retro that I've been waiting for. This is 20 years in the making for me personally, because I love the low tops. The white and reds, like I've mentioned, is my favorite low top Air Jordan 11 of all time. And I'm just so happy to see it here in mid top form. One way this shoe does differ though, is the liner. Around the ankle here, the liner of the shoe is red, whereas on the low tops, it is white. So for me, the red looks a little bit different, but I'm not mad at it because I remember in 01 when I had the low tops, the liner gets really dirty really quickly just from your foot going in and out of the shoe, whereas you're not going to have that problem here on the mid tops. But let me know what you guys think of this shoe. Was it easy for you to get, or did you strike out, or did you just pass as a whole? Are you feeling that the 11s are played out? Honestly, obviously it's been about 14 or 15 years now since 08 that they've been releasing holiday 11s, but for me, I'm really not mad at it. And as far as what I'm hearing for next year, for 2023, I'm hearing that the Columbia 11s are releasing again next year in the true OG specs. Obviously they call them Legend Blues now, but the original name for them was Columbia. So I'll definitely be looking forward to grabbing those. I know MJO23 Dan has really been wanting those for years now. And finally, we're gonna get the final setup of the OG colorways next year, it looks like, with the Columbias. But again, let me know what you guys think of this white varsity red or cherry colorway. Did you guys grab them? Did you pass? Do you even care for these, honestly? Or do you just think that 11s are played out, honestly, as far as holiday releases go? For me, like I said, this is a fantastic release and something that I've really been wanting for a very long time. All right, so really quickly, we're just gonna take a look at some previous year's Air Jordan 11s that have released through the holiday season. In 2016, you did get that black Concord PE. Not quite what he wore in Space Jam. The Space Jam pair did have 23 at the back. Obviously here, the black Concords have 45 and the Concord Jumpman as well. Not the Royal Jumpman, but Concord. So these did release in 2016, and it's definitely one of my favorite 11s to come out in recent memory. And then in 2018, obviously we got the Concords again, but these have that 45 on the back, and this is ironed on. It's not stitched. But this was a great retro as well. The overall shape of most of these 11s is just fantastic and really brings me back to 95, because the overall shape and specs of these shoes is a lot better than what we got in 2008 to 2015. Honestly, the shape of those, the patent leather height, just the overall quality and build was terrible in those Air Jordan 11s. And I got rid of all of my pairs because what they're bringing out now is far superior compared to those shoes. And then in 2019, we did get the black and red 11s here. Obviously, we got them again. Now, these did retro in 2001, and I believe it was 2012 they came back out. And then finally here, we get them again in 2019. And I found this to be a great release, and it was just a great build as far as the overall specs. And they finally came with that white and black carbon fiber shank plate, just like the OGs. So in 2019, definitely happy that we got these. And then last year in 2021, we got cool grays again. These retroed for the first time. Well, I guess the original release was 01, and then we got them in 2010, and then again last year in 2021. Again, finally that Jumpman is facing the right way, not like the 2010s. And just the overall build and spec of the shoe is great. Obviously they have a very blue outsole. And then this year, like we've seen all video, we finally got the white varsity red or cherry Air Jordan 11 mids. But let me know down in the comments, out of all of these releases here and including these, what are your favorites? For me, it's the Concords, the black and reds, and the Concord PEs. But sound off down in the comments as far as what your favorites are. But that's gonna do it for today's video on the Air Jordan 11 in the cherry colorway. Let me know what you guys think of these down in the comments. Did you pick them up or did you pass? For me, it was a great release. As far as in Canada, these were super easy to get. They were online, and when I went in store about an hour or two after release, Champs in Winnipeg still had about 50 or 60 pairs sitting in store. So it's just really cool to see that you can walk in and grab an Air Jordan 11 without all the madness, at least here in Canada. Was it the same in your area? Let me know down in the comments. But as always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that helps the channel a ton. Check out my Instagram over at 23mj88, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and just nostalgia as a whole. Keep it locked to the end of the video, as I will do an on-foot portion of the Air Jordan 11 Cherries. And until next time, peace.